Hello, I'm Jay Walker and I'm the Agitated Equist. This is one of the Climate Crisis series talks, and today I'm going to talk about how we won the war against the Nazis and the ozone layer. Before I do that, I'm going to ask two questions and provide some information. If you've seen other videos in this series, then you can probably just speed ahead a couple minutes and you won't miss anything. So my questions are, is anyone concerned about the climate changes we seem to be seeing on TV all around us? What about this climate change over the short and medium term future? My information is in a June 27th article in The Economist magazine. Munich Re, a large insurance company, calculated that the number of climate-related disasters had increased by 3 to 4 times over early to mid-1980s baseline. This is things like the generational drought we're seeing in California and also afflicting much of Western North America, forest fires, floods such as we've seen in Calgary recently, hurricanes, landslide, heat waves, things of this nature. If this trend of increasing climate disasters continues, we can look forward in about 30 years to having something like 10 to 15 times the number of disasters that we had in the 1980s baseline, and 30 to 60 times more by the time we're 60 years out. And I wonder if people think this is a sustainable future we're heading towards. Many people feel that trying to do anything about the climate crisis is pretty much hopeless. I believe that people feel helpless in the face of many system-oriented barriers. It's true it's a tough issue, but we can change our carbon and greenhouse gas-based energy systems. We do, however, need leaders who will tackle the tough task with all their mind, heart, and soul, and embody all the best scientific thinking on the subject. Mr. Harper is a Canadian prime political leader. On the other hand, thinks that carbon taxes are job killers and considers it aspirational to believe we can be rid of fossil fuels by the year 2100, some 85 years from now. I think waiting that long is delusional, and maybe it's even suicidal. We should instead ask ourselves, what can we do right now? We have faced tough challenges in the past, and we've overcome them. Back in the mid-1980s, we had the ozone layer crisis. The ozone layer is a protective shield high above Earth which protects us and many other life forms from UV rays. Loss of this shield through ozone-depleting substances was threatening the entire health of the planet and perhaps sustainability of all the food chains. The leaders recognized this, got together, and through the 1987 Montreal Protocol, banned ozone-depleting substances. Action was quick and decisive. An even tougher challenge was facing much of the Western world and humanity back in the 1930s. The Great Depression had been going on for about 10 years. Poverty rates were extremely high, hunger was everywhere, unemployment rates were 20, 30, 35%, very high. Against that backdrop, the Nazi regime started its inexorable rise to the top of the European heap. Its hateful killing machine eventually killed 6 million Jews, plus another 5 million of other peoples, including gypsies, gays, Christians, and all other sorts of people. 11 million people they killed. Our leaders didn't shirk away from that task, despite the unpopularity at the time. It was unpopular because many people believed that it was a European war and shouldn't concern us in North America. We had our own problems. We had our very high unemployment rates. We should concern ourselves there. But our leaders recognized this was not a task to be shirked away from. They embraced it. They rallied people to the cause. They had told people what was going on and informed people. They began all the leadership tasks necessary to move this agenda forward. Ultimately, the Nazi war machine was defeated through considerable hard work on the part of our leaders and all the people. Thankfully that happened, and human rights have flourished and the death camps have closed. So what does that to do with today? Well, similarly, just like in the past, we need our leaders to face up to this crisis that has never been before faced by humanity. This is by far the leading crisis we've ever seen. We cannot waste any more time. We cannot waste 10 years in office, as Mr. Harper has done, ignoring this file, submarining it where possible. We have to move on it. We can't continue to have leaders who are going to pander to our short-termism with things about income splitting, child tax care benefits, or teasing Mr. Trudeau about his hair. This is irrelevant to the leadership task in front of you, Mr. Harper. Humorist James Thurber once said, "Let us not look back in anger, nor forward in fear, but around us in awareness." And I would suggest that awareness should embody an awareness that Mr. Harper has not done anything on this file in nearly 10 years in office. This is the critical mass issue facing humanity. On October 19th, I'd ask you to vote for a different candidate. Any candidate that you feel would lead forward a sustainable climate agenda. Hashtag Harper, just not willing. Thank you.